Hi, Simon Chappell here. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach, and as always, I'm here to help you smash your sobriety. There's new videos on my YouTube channel every Tuesday and every Thursday to help you successfully quit drinking. If you enjoy them, press the little red button on the screen and subscribe to the channel so you'll get notified every time that a new video is released. I wouldn't want you to miss out. And of course, if you're looking for extra support, you can join my quit drinking program at joinbesober.com. The address is on the screen right now. I'd love you to be part of that. You can try it free for 14 days to see if it's a good fit for you and something that you need. Today, I wanted to share 5 things that we gain when we quit drinking that you probably haven't even thought about. There's lots of really obvious things that happen to us when we quit drinking, such as never waking up hungover again and not carrying out regretful behavior, not sending those 3 a.m. texts to people and waking up in the morning cringing and wondering what it was you actually wrote. But these are things that I didn't even consider would happen when I finally put down the wine. And they were gifts. They were things that were just unexpected and absolutely wonderful gifts from sobriety. And I've got 5 of them to share for you and a couple of bonus ones at the end as well. So make sure you stick around for those. So the first thing that really surprised me was time. I hadn't expected to gain time. Now, I know it sounds fairly obvious, but when I added up how much time I was spending drinking every week, it came in at a whopping 35 hours per week. When I quit, I had a lot of extra time on my hands. I made sure that I didn't sit around getting bored, and thankfully I had a new energy and motivation to do things, which was another gift. And I wanted to make sure I used that time wisely, and I'll come on to that in a moment. But one of the biggest gifts that I received was so much extra time. The worst thing I could have done was sit around feeling sorry for myself, feeling bored. As I say, I wanted to use that extra energy and motivation to get out and do the things that lit me up and brought joy into my life. So when you quit, expect to have the gift of time. Unfortunately, we can't get back all of the time that we've wasted on drinking. When I added up all the time I was drinking and the time that I was hungover, the time I was thinking about drinking, obsessing about how much I was going to have that evening, it came in at 6 months out of every year that while I was awake, that I was thinking about booze or actually drinking. That's half of my life that was taken away by alcohol. Now, I can never get that back, but I'm so grateful to have the gift of time that I'm now receiving. It really is a wonderful thing, but don't waste it. Make sure you plan for what you're going to use all of this wonderful time on. The second gift that we receive when we quit drinking that we often don't think of is just how incredibly well we feel. Now, I know you probably expect to feel better, of course you do, but we feel wonderful. We feel 10 years younger. There's the obvious things like the reduced risk of liver disease, heart attack, cancer, but there's that mental health piece where we feel so much calmer, mentally resilient, more grounded, able to cope with things that used to send us into a meltdown. My anxiety's gone from 9 or 10 out of 10 down to probably 2 out of 10. And that is one of the biggest gifts that I've received in my sober life. And we just feel more motivated, more energized, more present, more connected. It's absolutely incredible how much better you feel after you've had maybe 2 to 3 weeks without alcohol. You're past the initial tough period and you start to embrace this feeling of being on a pink cloud, which is a term that we give to that euphoric period that often follows after we quit drinking. And often that pink cloud lasts for a very, very long time. So enjoy it while you're riding high on your pink cloud, because it's a wonderful feeling. And it tends to stay like that. Sure, it can go a little bit flat after a period, but we tend to feel so much better and feel so damn good in sobriety. And it's something that I really didn't expect. I did expect to feel better, but not as good as I did. The third unexpected gift is that we often pick up old hobbies and activities that we used to do sometimes when we were children, and we haven't picked them up since because alcohol took over. It started running our lives, and we just lost interest in the things that truly bring us joy. So expect to perhaps start exploring your old hobbies, your old interests, and finding the things that bring true joy into your life. And this is something that you can use to fill all that extra time that you've got on your hands. Think of the things that when you do them, you lose track of time because you become so immersed in enjoying what you're actually doing. It could be gardening, it could be crafts, it could be stitching, knitting, it could be sports and exercise. Think about what it is that really brings joy into your life and absolutely lights you up to the point where you lose track of time. And that's what you should be doing. That's where you should be focusing your energy to really feel nourishment and enrichment in your life. I absolutely did do that. I started revisiting old hobbies, including drawing, painting, reading, writing, running. I was doing a lot more of that, although I did a lot of running when I was drinking, just not very well. And I found so much joy in revisiting these old hobbies and activities that I hadn't done in such a long time. So a big gift is that you will, I'm sure, rediscover your old passions, your old hobbies and the old activities. And that really is something to get excited about. The fourth unexpected gift of sobriety is awareness. We become so much more aware of everything. The process of quitting drinking teaches us to become aware of what is going on, both internally and externally. And when we quit, we take that awareness with us. So we end up being able to feel our feelings. We end up becoming aware of how we feel emotionally, and we're very quickly able to do something about it. Now, this was totally unexpected to me, but I've become much more self-aware because of the process of quitting drinking. And to me, that is a huge gift, because being self-aware enables us to quickly adapt, make changes, use tactics when we feel down or we've got a low mood going on. And I can understand why. When I find myself in the middle of a funk, I can actually look at that and ask myself, how do I feel right now? Put a label on that feeling. What is it? Where's it come from? Why do I feel that way? And then I can do something about it, whether that's meditation, exercise, reading a book, or doing something that's going to help me dissipate those feelings, whatever it needs to be. But one of the huge gifts of being sober is that you develop a much more in tune self-awareness. And that is such a wonderful thing, because when you've got that, you can really work towards living your best life. The fifth unexpected gift of sobriety is money. Now, I was spending probably 20 to 30 pounds every day on wine and beer. That racks up. It was over 200 pounds every single week. And I recently discovered that people who use cocaine, even medium to heavy users, are buying maybe 2 or 3 grams of cocaine every week. I worked out how long that would generally last them, and it turned out that that's what they spend on a cocaine habit. So an average cocaine habit costs around £200 a week, the same as I was spending on alcohol. So I'm now saving £800 a month. That's almost £10,000 a year that I'm saving. We're talking 2 really good holidays every year just from quitting drinking. A new car even. Now, I didn't quit because of the money I was spending on alcohol. I didn't even think about the money. It was draining my bank account, absolutely, but it just didn't matter. I just needed my wine, and that was the end of it. So the extra money, the extra time, the extra freedom, feeling good about yourself, when you combine all this stuff together, you're in an amazing place to embrace all those new hobbies and activities that you want to do. And you can even treat yourself to some wonderful things. If your favorite hobby is golf, you've got enough money now to go and buy yourself a really nice set of golf clubs. If your hobby's crafts or painting, you can buy the best equipment. You've got an excuse to do it. So make sure you use some of that money to treat yourself to some rewards, to celebrate the wonderful success in sobriety that you're having. I'd be interested to know how much money you've saved, how much you were spending on alcohol, how long you've been alcohol free. So put it in the comments below how much you think you've saved over the period that you've been alcohol free. It's really interesting when you start adding it up. Which is more important, money or time? Personally, I think getting that time back is an incredible thing. 35 extra hours per week, plus the time that I'm not thinking about drinking, obsessing about wine, stuck with a hangover. That's a huge amount of time. And to me, time is far better than money. And then, of course, the final couple of things is I never have to think about drinking again. Sure, in the early stages after we quit, we're thinking about booze a whole lot. I was having cravings and obsessing about wine even after I'd quit. But it soon passed, and I found myself in a place where I just don't think about drinking any longer. And that really is a huge gift. And for many people, we see weight loss over a period of time, improved skin, darkness under our eyes going. I've talked about this a lot on some of my other videos, and you can see some before and after pictures on there as well. But that's another great gift. Don't expect weight loss immediately. It does take time to happen. But with a good diet and regular exercise, you should experience weight loss when you cut out all of that sugar and those empty calories. And of course, I've already mentioned it, but for me, getting rid of my anxiety, low moods, depression, and just feeling generally wonderful is unbelievable. I didn't expect it to happen, and it really is one of the biggest and most incredible changes that's happened in my life. Feeling truly free from alcohol without the handcuffs of addiction on me any longer is just an absolutely wonderful thing. And I'd love to hear what your gifts are, the unexpected gifts that you've received in sobriety. What has been the biggest gift that you've had? Again, you can put it in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear, share, connect, and comment on those.